Welcome in everyone for this bonus stream to help hopefully get further along on this cross stitch project. Um, I moved my trash can away. Um, Hopefully we will get further through this today. And I know it may not be like thoroughly exciting to watch me stab this piece of fabric over and over, but I appreciate you coming in, even if it's just to kind of lurk and not so much watch. I appreciate it nonetheless. I did enlarge my picture a smidgen to try to make it easier to see or read the symbols, I guess I should say. Not see, but read the symbols. Because it was getting pretty hard to read the symbols sometimes. Because some of the colors are really similar. And it could have just, I probably should have say when I copy pasted it, I should have saved it larger to begin with, but I just didn't. And I've been trucking along, and I was like, I don't want to give myself a headache. Let's just make it larger. A wild Yanma is loose in chat. It's a little like, I don't know, bug, firefly, dragonfly type thing. Also, I made another eyeball today because they're pretty quick. The next time, I'm going to have to try to um sorry, I'm trying to decide if try not to get this in the other camera because it's pretty bright, but at the same time, like, be in the correct spot. I don't know what I'm doing as usual. um Weigh them, I guess, so I can try to price them, like weigh how much the skein weighs before I use the yarn and then how much it weighs after. I don't know. Or just take a stab in the dark at pricing it. I don't know. How has everyone been since yesterday? Hopefully well. We had shaken big pork chops last night. And tonight we're doing make it yourself pizza. Uh Congrats to Alex on first. Let's mark some of these off so I don't lose my place. 1, 2, then 1, 2, 3. Mm-hmm. Okay. And I did change my stream for tomorrow, like the time on the schedule. I tried to add in today's, but it let me put all the information in, but then it wouldn't do the save, like, to add it to the schedule. So I don't know. Like, and you can, yeah, like I went in and I put in like the title of the stream, the category I put in, then you can, like, it says, every Monday, every Tuesday, every Wednesday, every Thursday, like you can click that, or you can click the button down below where it says like one specific date. And I clicked that and I put today's date in, and then the save button went away. Like it was grayed out. It would not let me press it. So I don't know if maybe it was too close to the time I was wanting to start, because I did kind of not think about adding it to the schedule. Um, so I don't know if maybe it was too close to like the time, because it was less than an hour. Um, Mainly because, like I said, I just didn't think about adding it to the schedule. Because honestly, I didn't think you could add like one date. I thought you had to do it where it was like repetitive. But it's been a minute since I really looked at the schedule, like what you can do in there and what you can't. Because I just go in and change the times. The days always stay the same. Um, but I just change, like, if it's like for the summer, it obviously stayed the same. But when we got near the end of the school year and she stopped having extracurriculars, I just go in. It's still on a Tuesday, but instead of 12 to 3 or 12 to 4, it's now 11 to 2. So I just changed the time. I haven't really like looked. So I was like, oh, if I can add just like a single date, I'll add in, because I was like, how am I gonna put the like streamiversary on my schedule, because I don't want to put every Saturday. I wanted to go in, put it in, and then take it back out. But now I realize I don't have to do that. Like I said, it's been a minute since I paid attention to what's going on the schedule back there. And I'm trying to see, where do I need to jump to? Essentially, here. Oh, I'll just leave it because I'll use more thread ending and starting. Yeah, so maybe it was just, you know, too soon, like too close to start time. I don't know. But either way, I did attempt to put it in today's schedule. And I will go back and add the streamiversary as like a single day. Hopefully it'll let me do that, because that's not for like 2 weeks. Come on. Let me get in there. So today, out of curiosity, I asked Fantasy how, like, do they collect their phones at the beginning of each class period, Because I know that they were trying to do that last year. Like, a lot of teachers got those, um, the things you hang on the back of the door, and it's got like pockets and you can put like your shoes or whatever in the pockets. A lot of teachers got those last year, and they numbered them based on like what desk the kid was at. And you were supposed to put your phone in there so they could like glance at it and know which kid didn't put their phone in. So I was like, with the new, like, it's a state law. Um, so I was like, how are they? Are they collecting your phones at the beginning of each period? You have to like put them in a bag at the beginning of the school day. How is it? How is it working now that you've been going for more than a couple days? And she's like, nope, we're just told to leave them in our book bags, and if they see them, they'll take them to the office. Um, and I was like, okay, because I saw an article where, so about 30-ish minutes depending on traffic is like the major city, and it's Little Rock, like, um and there was an article that a woman talked to like the local news that the school district sent her a bill for $70 because they use those phone pouches. I don't know if you've ever like seen an article or seen on the news about these phone pouches. So they're like magnetic pouches or special pouches. The kids are supposed to put their phone in them, and then there's these special like almost like a security tag at a clothing store, or like you go to buy a video game, it's got the tag on it. So you have to like close the pouch with this special thing. They have like several of them set up, and then they have the pouch all day, and at the end of the day they can unlock the pouch and take their phone back out, and then they turn their pouch in. So the pouch never leaves school, right? The school is sending her a bill for $70 saying that both her children lost their phone pouch. And she's like, how could they lose their phone pouch if they have their phone? You know, like if they lost the pouch that never leaves school, that would mean their phone would somehow still be at school, right? Because like it records who doesn't lock their phone away, like in the computer. It's like a whole system. If they have the same system, I'm thinking about it because I've seen a like a news thing about other schools using it, and I was like, I wonder if they did that because to me, that's schools. I don't want to say claim they don't get very much money because I doubt they do get a whole lot of money. Um, but they're always talking about lack of funding and this, that, and the other, and you're telling me you waste money on that over things you actually need. Like that seems ridiculous. uh you know you could use that however much you spent on that ridiculous system and just pay your teachers a little more. Sure, in the grand scheme, that amount of money spread out over the however many teachers you have in your school may not actually be a lot individually, but it's better than spending it on that. But she said no, they just are told to keep them in their book bags. If they're caught with them, they're taken to the office. But I was like, I'm not. So she was mad. She was like, I'm not paying the school $70. Gonna call my sister and see if she'll take me to get a new microwave tomorrow. Mine decided it would no longer just do the time it has to do. No, it wants to be creative. It's a chef in disguise. It's demanding experimentation. We've had our microwave for like forever. Thank you, Chris. It's part of a stitch along. So in Carrot Cleric, was talking about like wanting to do some kind of like community craft thing, and so um he put it in in his Discord that he shares with Steel, like the idea. It is a fire hazard when it doesn't want to work. Um, but and then so he asked people like, could you like if you find a small free cross stitch pattern, that way people who've never cross stitched before can join in and not feel like super intimidated because they have this giant set to do. And plus, since it was like the first kind of craft along stitch along thing, um, we figured do something small and get people's feedback because like people who have never cross stitched before probably don't want to go out and spend an arm and a leg like getting all these supplies and stuff for something they may never do again. So that was another reason he decided to go small and to get like feedback on like how people felt about it and whatnot. So we put a bunch in and we voted on this one because there was only like 10 colors and it's like 6 by 6. So I cut my fabric like 8 by 8. It's a little less than 6 by 6 because this hoop is a 6 inch hoop. So I've been slowly working on it all month, but I was like, oh, I can do a bonus stream today and try to work more of it out. I would take like the last hour of stream and work on it some, but I I thought that would be enough. I'd be like, "Oh no, I'll knock it out. It'll be no problem." Apparently, I overestimated the speed in which I stitch while I'm streaming. I didn't anticipate that inevitable slow that happens because you're streaming, like you do things slower. And I spend more time worried about like did I just do everything completely out of frame? Is my camera in a good spot? No, it's not. It's horrible. I hate it. You know, all the things we worry about. So, my husband's out of town this week and the boy is doing pretty well in school by himself, I think. I haven't had to go out there and yell at him to stop playing video games and get to class every day, so I'm calling it a win. Plus, he's a freshman in high school this year, and I figure he needs to start keeping track of himself. He knows how to set an alarm on his computer to remind him, that he's got to be here at this time, that time. My dad told me he did it in the VA and he liked it. I need to push him back into a hobby he will actually do. I'm willing to throw him your way to try. Oh, try to drag him on stream around September, October. Okay, Chris, because I'm gonna find a Halloween one because we're doing another. So Carrot didn't want. He wants to do another one, but he was like, I don't want to. It all be like the same pattern. So this one we're gonna do in October is gonna just be more like a craft along and Halloween esque, fall esque. Like do something like a skeleton, a pumpkin. I'm crocheting eyeballs. This is my second eyeball. The other one's hanging on my camera arm. So I have two eyeballs now. But yes, totally bring your dad. I love doing cross stitch. It's not nearly as difficult as it looks, I should say. You know what I mean? Um and if he wants somebody to cross stitch with, I will totally cross stitch with your dad. I'll even let him pick the pattern. I don't consider like I've done cross stitch on and off over the years. My oldest will be, or he is 23. Um, and I've been doing it since he was real little, like a year or two. So on and off over the last 20 years, it's something I would like pick up, put down, like pick up, do a bunch of them, and then set them down. He loves Star Trek, so I'm trying to get him to be there for that. And I have a giveaway going on for October Halloween theme. Ooh, I have been so horrible about like getting on and like watching people who are on later in the day because we've been like doing all kinds of school crap, like running errands and whatnot. So I think we've really settled in now, so I can go back to doing nothing in the evenings besides having five tabs open watching people. So I will definitely try to get onto your stream. I know I haven't been on it in a bit. I'm sure I could find a Star Trek pattern. I'm sure. There's patterns for everything. Sometimes you just got to dig a little bit harder to find them, but I'm sure there's a Star Trek pattern. Well, that's good. I try to like get on everybody's, even if it's just like a quick hi and a lurk. And sometimes I don't even do the hi. I just hide in the shadows. But yes, I will totally look for a Star Trek pattern for your dad. I think the most important parts to cross stitching are one, um, don't use sharp needles. Use the actual needles meant for cross stitch, like the embroidery needles. They're not as pointy on the tip. And two, finding something that is easy for you to hold. So there's like all different kind of hoops and scroll frames and stuff like that. Like find the one where you can hold the project the most comfortable. And I'm not sure if that makes sense. Like you're not like hurting your wrist or holding it funny and getting a hand cramp, but like the thing that makes it easiest to hold your project. So, way back when I started, and even since the last time I picked it up before, we starting the last like month or two, they've come out with these things called snap frames, and they come in different sizes. They're basically PVC pipe. Um, okay, not a knot, just getting to the end of the fabric or end of the string. Um, so it's like and you can often get them where you can like mix and match. So you buy like a kit and it'll have like different size PVC pipes and then like four elbows, four of the L's. And you just snap in the sizes you need. So like if your project is 10 by 12, you want to have something that's a little bit longer than 10 inches, obviously. So maybe like 12 by 14. So you put those pipes in, and then there's other clips that go, like you put your fabric over it, and then you use these other clips and it just snaps on over it. I love my scroll frame, but there's all different kinds. So that's my big tip for cross stitching. And also, don't lay your needle down on your table. Put it in your fabric, put it through your shirt a little bit, hold it in your mouth, whatever. But don't lay it down on the table because it'll roll off and then you'll step on a needle. Find the hole. Yeah, so not everybody that was involved in the stitch along did it on their stream if they were streamers. Some people just did it in their free time and then posted the picture in the channel on Discord. But I wanted to do mine on stream so people could see like progression and whatnot. And like I said, I forgot about the fact that when you do things on stream, you inevitably slow way down. Safe from trolls. Listen, I'll protect your dad. There'll be no snazzy comebacks about him cross stitching. It is a good hobby that I think doesn't take a terrible amount of like brain power, and it keeps your hands going. And I think even if you have like arthritis or something, um carpal tunnel, things like that, um I think it's not too terribly bad on your hands as long as you find like the right um tool to hold your project. So like whether it be one of those snap frames or a scroll frame, whatever, as long as you find like the right thing for you, because there is no wrong. It's only what works for you. Oh, that's what I meant. I got on Amazon yesterday and earlier today to do something. And that's what I meant. I kept thinking there was something I wanted to look for. It was a Halloween pattern book of spooky ones. Welcome back, Alex. I will say cross stitching is also probably one of the cheaper hobbies because you can find a lot of free patterns online, or like there's magazines you can subscribe to where they're like $5 a month. And overall, like a skein of yarn can be 10, 15, $20, even more sometimes. But these are like 80 cents a thing. And the fabric is fairly cheap. Yes, Chris, no problem. Thank you for popping in. I hope you have a wonderful day. Did those, I did that. I'm a horrible typer too. I always see the thing after I press enter. Like even if I quick scan my message, yeah, it's fine. And then as soon as I hit enter, I'm like, no, you dumbass, it was not fine. Oh well, they'll interpret what I meant. Okay, there it is. I should really buy one of those little magnetic things. So it's like a little. It's got like two magnets and a loop, and you're meant to like loop it around the side of your project, and then you can stick your needle on it. But I just do that usually, or hold it in my mouth. Oh, it felt like it didn't go in, but it did. Yeah, so now I have two eyeballs. One with blue eyes and one with like purple-ish. I don't know. It's somewhere between pink and purple. But they're pretty quick to pop out. Carrot was teasing me. He's like, "You're gonna have like a million little eyeballs." I am, and he knows my obsession with Halloween. So he said that the craftalon for October will be like I'll do a million projects, and I probably will because all the Halloween things live in my house all year long. I don't really take them down. My inflatables are the only thing that go up and down, and frankly, they'll probably go up middle of September. Because if people can get away with putting Christmas stuff up in like November, I can get away with Halloween stuff in September. Technically, it is the next holiday. I love this song. Sister's going to take me to get the microwave tomorrow. Whoop whoop. Do not burn down your house in the meantime, Alex. We had a problem with our microwave one time, and it turned out that there was like this little thin metal panel on the inside, like on the side, and it got like bumped, so it wasn't in the correct position. And when we popped that back in the right position, it was like, oh, you're fine. I work fine now. I did make the crochet item I was talking about yesterday that I didn't want to take a picture of in Discord or anything because I don't want my friend to see it because it's for her for when we go visit them in November for Thanksgiving. But I did do it yesterday and it turned out so cute. No, not that spot. So crazy. The dial is sticking so the time doesn't actually tick down. Oh, we don't have like a turn. Ours is like you press the buttons. Like, oh, you don't even really feel like you're pressing the buttons. It's very touch sensitive. But Crazy messaged me last night or yesterday afternoon saying they finally made it to the hotel. There was a 13-car pileup, so it took them forever to get there because traffic. But then later he messaged me and he's like, because there's a Walmart amphitheater there, like so Walmart sponsors this amphitheater, and they have like shows and concerts and stuff there. Train was playing there last night, and his hotel room looked directly over the amphitheater, and I was like, "You suck, sir." Yeah, we've had it for a long time. And like I said, the only problem we had is, and I think it was during a move, like, I'm that crazy person who saves all the boxes the electronics come in, and then I put them back in the box when we go to move. So, like, TVs go back in their boxes. Hell, even my KitchenAid stand mixer goes back in its box that I originally bought it in. And I think as I was like putting all the stuff to keep it safe, I must have like bumped that metal plate and it just kind of tipped a little bit. And once we pulled it back down and got it like in position, the microwave worked again. That's the only problem we've ever really had with it. Okay, the rest go straight to the end. Let's turn it so I can hold it a little better. Still, when I was at Steele's house and we were helping, well, I was helping. The kids helped a little bit too here and there, but she bought one of those. It's like an air fryer, convection oven, microwave all in one. And it goes like above your stove as like the vent for the stove and whatnot. Like it's the whole Mama Jamma all in one thing. I was like, that wouldn't be horrible. I'd have to stand on a ladder to clean it, but my brother had the current microwave before me. I don't know if it was new when he got it. It could have been passed down, you know. That's all right. My mother-in-law gave us a bunch of stuff when we first get married. She's like, "Here, I have 5 million cookie sheets and this kind of thing and that kind of thing." And when we moved back like 2 years ago, um her father had passed about 6 months before. And finally all the kids had gone through the house and things like that, and everybody took what they wanted, and then they were going through the rest. And she goes, "You like the Pyrex, like the glass bakeware?" And I was like, "Yes." And she handed me like 6 pieces of Pyrex, and I was like, "I appreciate this, but now I'm gonna have so much Pyrex, like glass bakeware." And now I do have so much glass bakeware, but I'm not upset about it. And she had gone through like all her cabinets and was like, because you buy one thing and you put it in the cabinet, and then like, you see something else and you buy it, and then like 10 years later you open your cabinets and really look, and you're like, why do I have 6 of the same thing? They're slightly different versions of each other, but they're basically 6 of the same thing. And so she was getting rid of like Tupperware, like the original Tupperware from the 80s. And I was like, there's not anything wrong with this. And she's like, no, I just don't need it. And I was like, I'm taking the 80s Tupperware. So now we have 80s Tupperware, and I don't care. Yeah, I probably have like 4 of those 8x8 or 9x9, like the two sizes combined. I probably have 4 of those, 2 of like the 11x13 big long baking dishes, like 2 or 3 of the bread ones that are glass. And I was like, I'm not going to complain, because glass bakeware is typically more expensive than like the metal cheap bakeware. So I'm not going to complain about it. But I'm like, now where do I put it? I had to like rearrange my cabinets to get it all to fit. Because our kitchen is like, it's got a lot of cabinets, but some of them are set up weird. And we have those drawers. We have like 2 sets of the big drawers you're meant to put like pots and pans and stuff in. And so I use one set for that, like bakeware, and like the top skinny drawer, like not very deep, is for like utensils, and then pots and pans, and then the bottom is like bakeware, because again, it's not super deep. And then the second set, the top skinny one is like our junk drawer, and then the deep one I put like all my mixing bowls and stuff in. And then the bottom one has like random stuff that you don't use a ton. So like I have this thing, you put it on a pineapple and you twist it down and you can pull it out and it makes pineapple rings. And then I have a thing, you cut off both ends of the watermelon and you press it down and then it cuts it into wedges. So I use it, just not all the time. So it's like in that drawer, like stuff like that. Like the cheese grater that has the measuring cup attached to it and stuff like that. Um I like kitchen gadgets. if there was a meeting for people who are obsessed with kitchen gadgets, I'm pretty sure Crazy would make me go. It'd be like Kitchen Addicts Anonymous. Um, but like all that kind of stuff goes in there. Like the little thing, I have a thing that makes French fries. So you wash potato, whatever, and you set it down on this little dish, and then you press this other piece down, and it cuts it into to potatoes, like French fry size. And I have a thing for the kids to easily cut apples, so they're not like gonna cut their finger off with a knife. It's the same concept. It's a little tray. You put your apple on it, you put it on top, and you press down, and ta! You've taken the core out of the apple, and you've got 8 slices. But all that kind of like little stuff that gets used, but not like every day. I'm just gonna poke my needle there so I can figure out where it goes. So I would say 1 up 3. Okay, so I was close. It's this one. But we've got tons of cabinets. It's just sometimes they're kind of weird. Yes, I love kitchen gadgets. I love them. Listen, I have I have a problem with everything kitchen related, right? Like, but Crazy doesn't help because sometimes he likes something too, and then like we wind up with way more of them than we need. So the original crock pot that everybody winds up with, it's great for single people or even a couple. It's not super huge, but it does the job. We have that, and we kept it because Crazy makes like cheese dip in it, where you put like Velveeta and Rotel and make cheese dip. Um, so we have that one, and then we have the big family size, like 8-quart crock pot. And then we have a trio of mini crock pots that are for like parties. They're great for the holidays because you can make your green bean casserole and then put it in that crock pot and it stays warm. You make gravy and you stick it in that little crock pot and you keep it warm. So like things like that. It's even great. I've made a taco bar out of it. I made the hamburger like taco meat right in the crock pot. I just put water and the seasoning and the meat and let it cook away. And then I put 2 other things. Oh, I had made chicken and steak fajitas and then put those on warm and left it in there with, you know, like a trivet type thing. So I put water down in the bottom just a little bit so it like keep it warm without drying it out, and then put the meat and the chicken on each side. But yeah, I have a problem with kitchen gadgets. I had one of those smokeless grills for a while, and we gave it to a friend for their son because he just got his first place. Um, I have all kinds of kitchen crap. Yeah, like I think that's part of my thing is because I cannot stand there for hours on end. Like sometimes I pull a stool over to the to the stove and sit down to cook because my legs hurt that day, like really bad, and I just can't stand there. Like sometimes 5 minutes is too much. Some days it feels like I'm almost completely normal, and other days I can barely move. So I have a lot of gadgets to help me in the kitchen. And some people are like, well, you don't need all those things. And I'm like, well, need is relative. What you think is a need or a necessity is based on your perceptions, like how well you get around, how well you do things. So to you, it's not a need. But for me, a crock pot, an Instapot is amazing because I just set it and forget it. That's my whole thing. Set it and leave it alone. Anything to make it easier. But yeah, I really do have a problem with the kitchen gadgets. Welcome in, crazy. I was just talking about my kitchen gadget addiction. The amount of popsicle molds we have is ridiculous. Push pop type ones, all different kinds. I have the Ninja blender. Bedo, Bedo. Yeah, I was just talking about my kitchen addiction. But he is not unguilty himself. He buys kitchen gadgets and then I'm not sure they ever get used again. Like he bought like a panini sandwich press thing back from when he went to New Jersey on his last deployment, TDY, whatever you want to call it. And I'm not sure that thing's ever been used again since it's been brought back home. Yeah, like you turn around and you're like, how did I wind up with three of those? And okay, whatever. It was the great thing about moving so often with the military because I called it the purge would happen. Like you'd be forced to pack things up, to move. So you're forced to go through all your cabinets and all your clothing and whatnot and decide, do I really want to take the time to pack this and then unpack it and find a new home for it? And if the answer was no, then it just got donated or sold depending on what it was. That was the one like great thing about moving is you were forced to like really take stock of what was in your house and decide, do I like this enough to like find a whole new home for it at the new place? Cuz the houses were never the same. So you'd have to like guess where things were going to fit. Ooh, we all caught it. Whoop whoop. You'd have to like guess, hope, and pray that things you liked would fit in your new home. So it left a lot of, do I really like this enough or use it enough to bother packing it up and then finding a new home for it? The answer was no a lot of times. Also, it was a great way, like, because kids, especially when they're little, grow so much so fast that you wind up with so much clothes and toys that they're done, they've grown out of, they don't really play with anymore. So it was good for that too. When we moved from Omaha to Virginia, we had lived there 7 years, which was a long time, especially for like one duty station in the military. Um, and so we wound up donating like 23 bags of stuff, clothing, toys, kitchen stuff, all kinds of stuff. Gave away a couch, a swing set, all kinds. Oh, did I miss one? I did. That's true. Well, I'm not going back for that. And when the kids got older, I would kind of make them go through their stuff themselves Be like, go through all your toys and decide what you want to take with and what you don't. And then I would go through the things that through both piles, through the keep stuff and the giveaway stuff. And then sometimes I would make them give more stuff away. Like, I know I haven't seen you play with this for like a year and a half. Or like, do you need 75 stuffed animals? Can we give some more of these away? We are almost done with this color. I think I'm gonna have to do another strand though. Yep, that's alright. I need to nip to the shop, but I feel like that. I feel you. Tomorrow is like payday shopping day, and I'm like, it's not like I have to get up earlier or anything to do it. It's just like I don't know if I want to. Like I know I should do it, but Fantasy has picture day tomorrow. Ooh, we're gonna have ads in 30 seconds. They will go for 3 minutes, and then we'll be good for an hour. And we finish this color. So we get to go on to another one. My sciatic nerve today is not happy. Like at the top of my hip in the back. I guess it's not really your hip, it's your, I don't know. It hurts though. I can feel it like boop, boop, boop. During this break, I'm gonna quick see if I can find a cute. That was 993. X would be next. It's 3846. There's 43. Oh, this is not kosher. Are you telling me I don't have a color? Well, what happened to this color? I know I bought them all. What's a good thing we're on an ad? 3846. Oh, I just didn't take it out of the box. Well, that was a simple solve. Woohoo! I really didn't want to deal with not having it. Especially since I was sure I did have it. But I'm going to keep that up. I like this book, but they don't give you very much idea of what the projects inside it are. Ooh, good people put pictures. I do like that. I found some bookmarks. Those are cute. Let's see if I can find. Oh, they do come out really good. Welcome back, everyone. I was just perusing. So I found a set of 6 Halloween bookmarks. for like $13. What are you? Okay, I'll look later. No distraction. So the one I couldn't find in my project box, I apparently just forgot to get out of the thread container. So crisis averted. It's like I went over this list like 10 times, make sure I had all the stuff. How do I not have this color in my box? Oh, it's because I didn't take it out of where I store my thread. That'd be why. Okay, so we're doing X's. Where do I want to start? I guess over here is a good place. This piece of thread isn't super long, but it's gonna get us started. So there's a crochet spider I want to get. Um, and then obviously more eyeballs. Make more eyeballs. A wild Jolteon, and I think I caught it. Yes, I caught an Espeon yesterday and a Jolteon today. Still, it's gonna be jealous. Okay. We are chugga along, filling this in. So Streamlabs kept sending me emails and then notifications. They're like, you can get um, what do they call them? Campaigns or whatever through us to earn extra money. Just sign up. So I signed up, but they do it a little bit like that on the one other platform, and I don't not crazy about it. They're like, tell us what category you play in, but there's never an option for like somebody who does multiple types of things. So like I craft and I play video games and I build Lego. But like my options are makers and crafters, just chatting, gaming, or other. So I always pick other, but then I worry that like the other, like, they're like, well, what does that mean? And also I worry about, I don't know, people think you're selling out or whatever doing the campaigns. I wouldn't do them all the time, but sometimes I'm like, maybe. Hmm. I couldn't tell if it was just stuck or if it was a knot. I don't know. It doesn't look like a knot to me. So, where am I? Oh, it's like that. Looks like there's already something filled in there. There's not. It's okay. There's that. Okay, I see where I was at now. I don't know why I thought I was in that other spot, but think I just poked the needle in to hold it to look at the computer, and then my brain forgot where we were in the pattern. So this week would have been Crazy's 4 day weekend, and it still is. But instead of having Friday and Monday off, he's like Monday's a holiday, so he doesn't work. So he's gonna have like Tuesday and Wednesday off, and then I don't know something. So he's like he just wound up taking next week off. So I don't know if he plans on trying to do extra streams, like streaming Monday and then Wednesday. I don't know. But the hotel we're gonna be staying at has a pool, so we get to play in the pool on Friday. Is this baby metal? It is. Bring me the horizon of baby metal. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So we've done half the colors. A wild, I don't know how to say that. I'm not butchering that name. There's a Pokemon in chat if anybody wants to catch it. Um, we're on the sixth color, so we're officially color wise halfway done. Mm-hmm. No, it's not the right spot. I'm really liking the way these colors are coming together. Come on. There it is. So, I never took apart the wreath that we've done the last 2 years for Christmas because you can build it multiple ways. I wound up never taking it apart this time. I just hung it up there, but I do need to take it apart so that we can rebuild it in December the third way. Okay, 2 and skip 1. Ooh, we both caught it crazy. I also have the other wreath we built last year. There was an option to make it as garland, but I don't know if I want to take it apart. I guess I really need to wait. Thank you for the luck, Mal. Right? I'm loving the way these colors are looking together. It's coming out really nice. Now, I think this is the last blue, and then we're going to switch to like oranges and yellows and fill in. But I'm really liking the way it's looking. The colors are coming together so well. I will say cross stitches is very much trust the process. You're going and you're like, this looks horrible. Like, what is this? This is just like a mishmash of crap. And then at some point you're like, oh, I can kind of see what the pattern is supposed to look like. Oh, and then like the more colors you do, the better it looks, and you're like, oh, thank God, it's not a total train like wreck like I thought it was gonna be. Okay, now from here we want to be 1, 2, 3. So, yep. And it's hard to see on camera, but this you can see it a little bit. But this pattern has like, or this fabric, I should say, has like this floss type stuff pulled through it, like tinsely type stuff, and it's clear and like sparkly at the same time. The camera doesn't really pick it up though. Um, but it's making it look really cool, like around it. It was a good choice instead of just plain white. I had looked at others, but I was like, I don't know how that's gonna look, with the colors of the thread on it. So I opted for white, but with this sparkle in it, and it's looking really nice. The camera doesn't, like I said, really pick it up though. Nope, nope, they wanted four in that row. So Fantasy starts archery, like her archery practices for school. Let's go down to the next month. In about 2 whole weeks, 2.5 weeks. So then, like my Tuesdays will go back to the 12 to 3 or 12 to 4. Um, because she'll have that Mondays and Wednesdays, as long as they keep kind of the same schedule as last year. So if I want to do random Wednesday, like random Wednesday craft streams, um, I'll have that ability. like I said yesterday, I don't want to put it on the schedule as like a definite every Wednesday, but I think Wednesdays randomly here and there I might do a stream with crafting. So like a cross stitch or a crochet or whatever. Oh crap. Well, let's pull that in. There we go. That is a little blue to the eye there. Or I guess, yeah, it is blue, so. I do love that cross stitch is pretty forgiving, compared to like crochet or whatever. Like, oops, I missed one. I'll just do it as another color near it. And most of the times, nobody would even know. So, Kara wants to do another craft along in October, but like not one set type of craft. So everybody do whatever they want, just kind of towards a theme, like a spooky theme, fall theme, whatever gets voted on. Um, that being said, I will work on it on stream, but I'm not gonna only work on it on stream. So I'll just kind of post pictures in Discord and to the channel and whatnot. Um, yeah, maybe we'll do a Wednesday, one or two craft Wednesdays with like spooky theme crafts. Crank out 6 eyeballs. So when I was with Steel and she made the S'moresaurus, whatever, she made hers like giant size. And I have no clue how she did that. Like, she didn't have any kind of different directions. It was just she knew what to do to make it upscale. And I kind of want to do an upscale eyeball, but I'm not sure how that would work. Like a full size eyeball jellyfish instead of a mini eyeball jellyfish. Because I'm weird like that. Like, she used a bigger crochet hook and then essentially used 2 strands of the yarn at the same time. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. But like, I wouldn't know how to do that like off the top of my head. And I don't know if she, I mean, I assume she had to add stitches in places, but maybe she didn't. I didn't ask. I was too in awe to bother asking questions. A wild Dean? Oh, the picture stopped working again. There we go. Sometimes I have to like hide it and make it reappear, and then it works again. Ooh, we caught it, crazy. So like that. Ooh, the neighbor's chickens are squawky squawking. Okay. Okay. Ah. So this year, because last year I did 2 jellyfish for the archery fundraiser, this year I will have so many options. Here's all this crochet crap that I just keep making. You sell it. Don't like hope. Helpfully, it helps out the team, not hopes out the team. Okay, let's see where we are. Okay, let's start right here. That'll lead up. Oh, come on. There we go. So I was listening to some newsy political things, and I heard on the one said that some foreign countries have stopped mailing things to the US because of tariffs. I didn't think it would affect like that, but I guess like if you order direct from the company, they still want you to pay the tariff. So like, and I know it was at Cadbury or something like that, the one chocolate company, they've stopped shipping to America and started shipping to Canada instead to avoid the tariffs. It's just kind of crazy. Mm-hmm. Okay, between these two. Mm-hmm. Sorry, guys, I'm not really talking that much. Honestly, I don't know what to talk about today. Really, I'm not super interesting. Split. Okay, I may have to pull it through and just fix it on the other side. Okay, we'll just have to go along. I don't know why it got a knot like that. Usually I can get them undone, but this one doesn't want to be undone, so. If there was a ton of thread between the knot and like the pattern, I would have clipped it and, restarted it, but there's not. So hopefully you won't be able to really see. Okay, let's go up here. You have returned. Welcome back. You didn't miss much. I am not very entertaining today. I have no idea what to talk about. So it's just me kind of rambling and stabbing the fabric over and over. I think the only thing you may have missed is Pokemon. But welcome back. You be quiet, phone. This is our last blue color. Then we're gonna go to like oranges and reds and like cream and white. So Boy Wonder is like super picky about pants. And he's fallen into like the track pants for the last couple years, and it kind of kills me because he wears them every day. And I call it hobo chic. Like that's, you barely look like you've got dressed. Um but when we did like their back to school first day of school outfits, he found some pants at Target that I think he liked. So maybe I'm gonna convince him to like get a couple more pair and actually wear them instead of looking like a hobo every day. He used to have a different pair of pants. Well, more than one, but a different like style of pants that he really liked from Target in the Cat and Jack section. And he had like, I don't know, a ton of pairs in all different colors. And he really liked them. And then all of a sudden it was like nothing but these track pants. And they're killing me. Like the average school day when we don't leave the house, whatever, but he wears them everywhere. And you're like, okay, I need you to wear like real pants today and look presentable. And he's like, listen, I'm not telling you you gotta wear jeans. Both my kids hate jeans. But can you not look like a hobo today, please? A wild arctozolt. It's a bird. I should check how many Pokeballs I still have. I buy a fair amount, but use them here, And then, like, in other people's streams, I should check how many are left. I do use other types of balls in other people's streams, but here in mine, I just use the ultra, like set it to one kind and do the ultra ball forever. Boop, boop, boop. Sorry, guys. Where are you? I still have 76. We're good. Ooh, we all caught it. Whoop whoop. Congratulations, guys. There's a fly in this room, and I can hear it like buzzing right by my headphones. Rude. Please go buzz somewhere else, Mr. Fly. So one of the books I got at the book signing I went to weekend before last, it's called like Fangs and Felonies, and I just couldn't help myself because that title is. That title was too hard to resist. I was gonna be upset if I didn't get that one. I had to type it out one handed because slowly the other. I will get this one. Tis my Pokemon. I know they do like the challenges every week, but I never pay attention to them. Because half the time they're like, do stadium ranked battles, and I'm like, I don't want to do that. So every morning after my shower, I go back to my bedroom and I ask Echo what the weather is for the day. And it tells me like the current temp, the high for the day, if it's going to rain, be cloudy, whatever, the weather. It was 57 degrees today at 7 o'clock in the morning. And I was like, oh, fall. I so wanted to put like a sweatshirt on or something, long sleeve shirt, but the high today was also 85. So I feel like that'd be counterproductive. Like, it would just be hot later. We'll probably have ads in a couple minutes. It's almost one. So, like, I know the stream anniversary is coming up because I talk about it enough, and I probably drive you guys crazy with it. But like, I'm like, oh yeah, it's coming up. I have like 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks, and yeah, I got time, I got time. And then like I looked at the calendar and I was like, no, it's not this Saturday, but the following Saturday. I really don't have time. Like this week is crunch time. Like why does that happen? Does anybody to anybody else? You think you've got like all this time and then you're like, no, actually I don't. I have no time. And this is why I was crazy and tried to plan like last month because the time it sneaks up on you. I keep putting it off, going, that whole I've got time, but I really need to figure out the co-stream camera thing, like why it keeps giving me issues. So, like it's one of those things I think about while I'm streaming and I tell myself I need to do, and then as soon as I stop streaming and I forget doing, real life things, I just completely forget about it. Ooh, that's right, I wanted to. Ah, come on, get in the hole. Making sure I don't got like a bundle of thread just hanging out back there. I've had that happen before. Like, I thought I got the knot out, but really, it was just a bundle of thread back there. We are in ads. I'm just gonna check. My phone has been going off a bunch, so I'm just gonna make sure it's nothing crazy. No, a tree moving in the backyard, driving the camera crazy. Ow. Don't grab the needle like that. Welcome back, everyone. So we need to come up into here, I think. Yep. And then we're almost done with this color. We've been doing this for 2 hours, and I more that like, did I get much done? But whatever. We're just gonna roll with it. Like I said, if I don't get this done between like today's stream and tomorrow's stream, then I will finish it off stream and just show you guys the finished product. Typically, when I do cross stitch, I do some on stream, some off stream, some on stream, some off stream. But this one for the stitch along, I tried to do only on stream. But we can see how well that went. But for Lego, we're building the Riverside Scholars by Bricklink. That's what we'll do tomorrow. So many bags or so much time on it, and then the other time on this. I don't know what pattern I'll do after I finish this. Probably, honestly, dive into Halloween. A wild pet rat, the crazy gerbil, and crochet more eyeballs. I do have a diamond dot that I need to finish. I sorted it all to take it to Steele's, and then I worked on it a little bit there and a little bit at home, and then it got set off to the side, and I got obsessed with the crochet patterns, and I haven't been working on it. But I do need to finish that. It's like country cottage. But it's a decent sized one, bigger than like a sheet of paper. It's pretty big. Um, Maybe like 20 by 20. I don't know, something like that. But I do need to finish that so it can stop, just getting moved from place to place on my desk. Ooh, I caught it. We have maybe 20 stitches left in this color, and then we'll start on our next color. Tuka's at a conference. But 5 different accounts. Wow. That's a lot of playing. Nope, not there. One. Don't stab your finger. I saw the thing, it was, of course, just like a rhetorical question. They were like, could you stay in your house and never even step outside for a week for $100,000? And I was like, ooh, yes, that's not even an issue. Food delivery, Target delivers. I got kids to bring the thing in. Like, yeah, I could not. Listen, a child can walk home for a couple days for $100,000. I could pay off a good portion of debt with $100,000. But the guy in the video, so he asks the question, and of course, like another content creator stitches in, and he's like getting in bed and pulling the blankets over his head, and he's like, "You can pay in installments." We live like 5 minutes from the school. She'll be fine. But I was like, yeah, I could. I could totally not leave my house for a week for $100,000. Be honest, I really only leave my house to go pick her up and come back. Like drop her off in the morning, then go back in the afternoon to pick her up. If it happened to fall on like a week when I normally do the grocery shopping, oh well, I guess we're doing, delivery. I will have the groceries delivered. Keep forgetting I moved my trash can. No, Alex. What happened to them? The screw holding one of the arms on has fallen out and I've lost it. Okay, so I don't know about you because, you're in England and not here. But here, you can usually just go to an eyeglass place and they'll just put a screw in for you and fix them. Like, no charge. So, like, if there's a place where you buy, like Tesco, I know is kind of like Walmart, but not like, I don't know if you have super Tesco's or whatever, or like just a little place that sells glasses in the village. But usually here they'll just fix them for you. They won't even like charge you anything. I need to get them to get to the uh opticians. Oh, yeah, that could pose a problem. Okay, where am I? There. Can you wear your regular glasses to get to the opticians to get them fixed? Too bright out. Okay. Because that happened to my glasses not that long ago. The screw fell out, and I found it, and I was trying to put it back in, and then it fell out of my hand, and much like the Legos, it hit the floor, and then disappeared into that alternate dimension. Yeah, hopefully. Crazy has that like too, like he's real light sensitive. When we finish this color, that'll be it up in this tail area. It'll be the last little bit of like the flame at the end of the tail. I don't know what caused that. don't know what I did, but I think I almost didn't do the other half of that X. Maybe holding it like that will work better. Four X's left. Then we're done with blues and this tail. Oh, sorry, 5 I missed. I missed one. It was kind of partially colored on when I drew a line through a different stitch next to it. All done with the blues and this tail here. Now, draw a line next to that. Come on. There we go. Okay. Try to keep them in order. That way they're easier to put away when I'm done. But apparently those got all out of order when I was looking for that color. Okay, let's see what color to do next. $7.21. Find the tail. Sometimes the tail really blends in. That's probably not the one I'm looking for. There it is. I try to cut it a little bit away from it. That makes it slightly easier to find. But I mustn't have done that last time. Either that or it's a brand new one and I haven't used any from it, so it very well could be either or those. Okay, it is only two. Kept thinking there was three there. So we're gonna add our first orange to it. Okay. I guess we'll start up here. It really is interesting to see how when you introduce like a new color, how it kind of changes the whole look of the project sometimes. Like as we were adding the blues on top of each other, it just kind of added dimension. But then you add in like a whole different color and you're like, wow, what is going on? Please look right. Okay. Streaming today is probably going to make me think it's Thursday for most of the day, but at least when I first think about what day it is, but that's alright. This is like the only orange in this section, too. It's just like out there. Okay, then. Two, one, two. So we want this. But if you think about like fire, blue is actually hotter than like an orange or a yellow flame. So having like a ton of blue in the dragon makes sense. I mean, the title of this pattern is like Fire and Ice Dragon, but like I said, blue flame is actually hotter than orange flame, so I don't necessarily like equate it to like fire and ice. Like with the blue in it, it just makes me think that part of the dragon is hotter. I don't know how like average the knowledge that blue flame is hotter than orange flame is, so maybe they called it fire and ice just so that it would seem like it made sense to people. Mm, okay. What are you doing? Nope, not there. One. So I talked about the idea a little bit yesterday about having. I'm pretty sure one of my channels is already like books or something like that. But come on. Yeah, it just says book stuff. But having kind of like maybe a non-traditional book club. So not that we would all read the same book, but that like we would just meet once or twice a month, whatever. Um and talk about books we've read, obviously without giving away too many spoilers, but like, or that you could just, I mean, anybody's free to post in there, like, hey, I read this book, you guys might like it too. Um, but I didn't know if anybody else was interested in something like that. Like, the problem I run into with like traditional books clubs is often I don't want to read what they're reading. And I was in one for a couple years, but the truth is almost nobody would actually read the book, and we, even if we did read the book, we would talk more about other things than the book at book club. So it wouldn't matter anyway. So I looked at my Goodreads yesterday when I was posting a review, and I saw something about like 57 books, like down at the bottom, and I was like, oh, okay. I have 57 more books to read till I hit my goal. No, apparently I'm 57 books ahead of my goal, or like ahead of where I need to be to reach my goal by the end of the year. So we'll see where I actually end up for the amount of books I read for the year. Because I think I set my goal at like 2 or 250, and I haven't met my goal yet. But okay, I'm here. Um, but it's saying like because it kind of spaces it out. Like if you pick 200 books a year, it figures out like how many books you need to read a month essentially to meet that goal. And then if you're ahead of schedule, it'll be like, oh well, say you needed to read 12 books a month, and so we're 8 months in, it would be, or like seven, because it probably didn't change till the end of the month. Um, you know, 84 books, but I've 54 books ahead of that or whatever. So I was like, oh, well, okay. I'm further along than I thought. A wild yamask. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. But some of those books were like really short, but then some of them were really long. So, but I do like if you do the Goodreads challenge for the year, so you pick a goal. It doesn't matter if it's 10 books. Like they just figure it out for you. And then you add in books as you read them. And at the end of the year, it'll tell you like how many pages you read for the year, how many books, what was your longest book, what was your shortest book, like what book you read that like the most like was most read by other people as well. And then it'll ask you to set your goal for the next year. But down underneath where you can like link like your Facebook, your Instagram, your TikTok, I have my Goodreads profile linked, which I know is kind of weird, but you guys are more than welcome to look at everything I've read. It's all on there. I have no shame. I will read a dirty book and put it on there. I don't care. And I do try to post in my Discord in the book stuff channel when like they have these stuff your Kindle days where it's like 1,000 free books. And they sort them by like genre and stuff. I do try to remember to post in there the link. Right, because if it's 1,000 free books, there's bound to be something in there for some, for everybody, even if it's only like one book. Okay, we did that. So So there are like two types of cross stitch. There's counted cross stitch, which is this, um, and then they have stamped cross stitch. I find it harder to get my, and I guess in recent years there's been like two kinds of stamped cross stitch at that. Um, there's where it's the same fabric and then they kind of like put the pattern directly onto it, so you just X in the same colors, or symbols. Um, but there's also another counted cross stitch, which was like the only kind when I started 20 years ago. Um, that was just like a piece of everyday fabric, like linen fabric usually, and they would stamp X's on it, just like an X, and then using the pattern like instructions, you would fill in. But I found it really hard to get my X's even though like they were stamped there, but like you would just overshoot a little bit and then you'd be like, oh, this X looks slightly different than that one. I tidied my desk a week or so ago, but before I do the stream anniversary, I'm gonna have to like really clean it, not just sort things out. Because I imagine there's all kinds of crap on my desk that doesn't actually need to be on my desk, that's taking up room. skip 2 and then 4. This thread keeps wanting to get caught, but I don't know what it's getting caught on. Okay. Okay, now I gotta decide where to go from here. I guess I'll go down the side and back up. About 10 minutes or so, and then I'm going to end stream. That way it's before the ads. I always feel guilty like letting the ads run and then getting off like 5 or so minutes after the ads end. So we'll do about 10 more minutes and then end the stream. If I'm a little late, I'll snooze at the ads, but hopefully I can avoid that. But if you are perusing Pinterest or whatever your craft addiction place is, and you see a cool design, you can always share it like through messaging here on Discord. Or if you think there's a new craft you'd like to see me try, you can do that too. Not that I need a new hobby. I have so many. But I'm always open for a new hobby, whether I need one or not. Plus, ending it at 2 gives me a little time in the person I raid into, because I always feel guilty for like raiding and running. Because I don't want to stop what I'm doing, to give that time. Like, I can go 10 more minutes and then, only have like 5 or 10 minutes in the other person's before I go get in the pickup lane. The last 2 Sundays playing Satisfactory, I did find 2 maybe just one of them, but newer, I feel like. I don't know. Um, Streamers. So that was fun. Um, they were both like way better at the game than I was. Like in the terms that they knew what they were doing. Well, I have played that whole game through before. The guys are so much better at it, or more experienced, I should say, from playing it longer. So they just do stuff. And so I'm like, I feel like I'm contributing, but maybe not. Which I'm not upset about. If I was truly like didn't like that they were doing this, I would start a game all by myself and be like, no, I don't want your help. I enjoy playing with them. I think the game is better when you play it with other people. They just kind of supply whatever and then stay away from my conveyor belt spaghetti at the main hub. I have done way more exploring this time than I did last time, and I found like crash sites and set up mines in the middle of nowhere. Ah, where was I? Here and there. When I went to grab my mouse, it moved, and then I was like, ah, where on the pattern was I? Okay, so I should have three out there, then one down and a diagonal. It should be right there. So it should be 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. All the pokey catches. Okay, we went all the way around the chest area here. Now we gotta go down here into the wing. And I am trying to keep a good track of the time. Trying be the keyword about 5 minutes. For a second, it looked like maybe one loop didn't get pulled tight, but nope, it was fine. like 4 minutes or the end of the string, whichever comes first. And I typically don't stream on Wednesdays, but I think maybe we'll just raid right into Carrot. I believe he's on. I know it's a missed opportunity. I could raid into somebody new and have that time, but I don't know. Probably these last two stitches, and then that's about the end of my thread here. Yep. There we go. Perfect timing. Should I stay threaded? I did even better. So we'll set that on there. And like I said, we'll work on it some more tomorrow after we build. He's on and playing Sims. Okay, let me make sure I mark those two off. Then do the save. You're gonna hear the computer beep at you because I don't always trust the saves. So I do the save as so it bing bings. Okay. Why do you do this like every time? I was not anywhere on this screen part. I clearly grabbed the tab of the thing. Okay. Thank you all for hanging out today. I know it probably wasn't extremely exciting with me stabbing the fabric over and over, but I needed to get more done on it. So I had time today, so I just went with it. Um Yeah, I it might become a thing where I just like randomly stream on a Wednesday some. Um Especially once the kids really get like settled into school. We've had some it's not problems but more like issues like learning with the way they switched up Boy Wonders school website, like their learning center website where they turn in their work and stuff. Um so little growing pains, adjustments, to the new format or whatever. But overall it hasn't been crazy. So hopefully um you know and he's in high school, so I'm trying to get him like in the habit of taking notes, like because they were more lenient like when he was in 7th and 8th grade. They were like, yeah, you can use your notes on the tests, only if you need to, though, kind of a deal. Like they really wanted them, but now they're like, no, treat it like you're a test in school, and no book, no open notebook unless we say so. etc., etc. Um, so trying to get him into taking notes as he does the lessons, like I telling him, if something's highlighted, like in the module you're reading, if it's highlighted or like bold font, write down the definition or write down the equation that goes with it. So trying to get him into the habit of that. But yeah. Hopefully I'll be able to do more random Wednesdays. There'll probably always be crafts unless there's like a video game I'm playing that has like a big release that day or something. But the random Wednesday ones will probably just be craft ones. But I hope you guys enjoyed the coziness of what happened. um, I'll see you hopefully tomorrow or in somebody else's stream. Um, Tomorrow we'll do the normal. I'll build more on the Riverside Scholar set, and um, and then if the last hour I'll do more cross stitch. So, but thank you all so much for hanging out, for lurking, for chatting. I really appreciate it. You guys could lurk somewhere else or just not lurk in me and lurk somewhere else. So I appreciate it. I know I don't always talk the whole time, and that is a problem, but it is what it is. I appreciate you all, and I hope you have a wonderful day.